Hello everyone, it's your girl Cami at Large. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for holding out. I know it's been a minute since I made my last video. I was not expecting my first semester of law school to hit me like it did. So, and I plan on doing a separate video, maybe a few videos about that. You'll see those coming in the future. For now though, I know I promised to make a few videos about personal statement, addendums, and scholarships in concern with law school applications. So I'm going to start there, and my first topic will be about personal statements. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 3 separate videos or if I'm going to have it all in one. So I'm still not sure of that. As we go, I'll probably just cut it off and make a new one. If not, I'll just continue to go on with scholarships and addendums. So once again, thank you guys for holding out, and please like, comment, subscribe. If you find this content helpful. If you have any questions, yes, please let me know. And if there's something I forget in these videos, let me know and I will address it in a future video. So yeah, let's get into it. Personal statements. And my notes are over here, by the way, so I'll be looking over. For me, personal statements was one of the hardest things that I had to do for my law school applications. And I know it's probably the hardest things for a lot of you to do, because I know for me, it's not easy for me to talk about myself just in general. And I couldn't find anything at the time to talk about. It wasn't like I was mentioned in newspapers, or I was out every day doing community service, or I was president of a club. You know, it was very hard for me to get something to talk about because I felt like I had nothing. And so for those of you who are like me, I'm hoping a few of these tips will at least get you started, you know, in writing your personal statement, and like it did me. So the first thing I'm going to say is, like, make sure you make it personal. I know if any of you like me, like I just said, I didn't have anything. There's always something that you can talk about. There's always something, and maybe so small, you know, but there's something that you can talk about. There's so many different things that you can spin off of in your life that has happened to you. So many different things that you've done that you can spin it off. As long as you can in the end connect it all back to law somehow, to law school, then you are in the good. So I know a lot of the personal statements you have to address. There's like specific questions like, why do you want to be a lawyer? Why do you want to go to this law school? What do you intend to do with your degree? Or when you pass the bar, what do you intend to do with that? So those were like, I know it's not all of them. I know some, like, be on the lookout. Some schools will have a set of questions aside from, you know, they'll have a set of questions that they want you to address, you to address. So be on the lookout for that. This is why I really encourage you to research their website. Go on their website and research, you know what I mean, for any different thing. Like the law school on LSAC, it has the applications, but once you go on the school's website, they may have something completely different as far as their applications and what they're looking for. So look at both of them. Look at both on the LSAT website and actually on the school's website of what they're looking for. Some of them have a page limit, you know what I mean? So be on the lookout for those things. Make sure before you even start writing that you know what you're writing about, and you don't want to be going on detours that you don't even have to be going on, you know, or you're missing stuff that they are wanting. So make sure, just be on the look for that. And as I said, make it personal. You know, there's so many different things. Like me, for instance, I'll give you an example. Growing up, my family, we were into a lot of court TV. Like we like watching Judge Mathis, Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, Judge Maybelline, Judge Lynn Toler, you know, a lot of those judges on TV. And that's pretty much all of what my mom, my aunts, every time there was a gathering, it would be on. So me, I kind of adopted watching that from them, you know, and soon after, it was like I was arguing for each side, you know, and I became passionate about it over time. And this is even before. They say that a majority of law students always wanted to go to law school, you know, or they knew even before high school, that this is what they wanted to do. So a lot of you out there, you've already had this in your head. You've already known that this is what you wanted to do, even before college, even before high school. So, and you know what I mean? Like that's something big to play on that. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of spin that off. And me, I didn't even use that in my personal statement. I didn't even talk about that. I talked about something completely different. So, make it personal. And if any of you are in the military, you have a whole bunch of, higher ups, your upper chain, who have been through things, officers, and ask them, you know what I mean? Like they've gone through a process that kind of was, I don't know, I wouldn't call it similar, but they have real life experiences. A lot of them are older, and maybe they can help you getting started. For me, I asked my chief, if he had any advice, and he just said, hey, get a glass of wine one night and just be by yourself, close the door, get a glass of wine, and just let everything out. Start writing and be honest with yourself about what you've gone through. Mind you, your personal statement doesn't have to be about anything good. It doesn't have to be about accomplishments. It could be about something that you went through that was so egregious or something that everybody every day does not go through. And you've somehow overcome that. Maybe you haven't overcome it. Maybe you're still going through it, but it is something that you can write about. It is something that you can tie into who you are, because that experience in of itself is a part of you. So like I said, it doesn't have to be good. A lot of people think that, I have to write about me being the top of the top of the top. No, it doesn't have to be about that. It can be about something completely different, about something bad, as long as you tie it in at the end. As long as you somehow tie it into law school, that this has made you stronger. This has made you realize that you wanted to fight for, whatever it is you went through, those people who, have gone through it too. Maybe it has taught you to rise up and want to speak out against this, so it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be good, and it doesn't have to be bad as well. So there's many different things that you can spin off of. And just looking back in hindsight, at the time, I was like, man, I don't have anything. I'm like, there's so much. Now that I think about it, there's so much, especially if you've grown up in a lower income environment, you know what I mean? Like, and what else do I have? Like a lower income, disenfranchised community, if you had a crazy experience like that, poverty. Maybe you didn't experience poverty. Maybe you are from, house on the hill, you know what I mean? Maybe you grew up with maids and, whatever. And even still, like you've probably had some sort of experience. Maybe you have a weird hobby like rock climbing or playing marbles. I don't know, like just something that's unique about you that everyone doesn't do. You can talk about that. Just find that and start writing. Tie it into law. Tie it in somehow. Otherwise, it just looks like you're going on a detour and you stop. So bring it all full circle back around to why it is that relate those two things, connect those two things. What else do I have on here? And this is basically before the review. We're talking about before your first draft, before you actually review everything. Because I have a few tips about the whole review process. So, like I said, go on the website, look around. And also, with that, each school has a mission statement. You can find it on their website. Maybe they don't have a mission statement, but they usually have some sort of like moral code, moral statement, moral values that they talk about on their website about who they are, what they're about. You can even take from that. You can even, if you, like I said, research the website, go on there. Like me, I went on one of the school's mission statements, because one of the schools I had applied to was a Christian-based school and religious-based school, and I went on their website and saw that they are they have very strong principles, rooted in Christianity. So I mentioned that in my personal statement, So, like I said, a lot of it has to do with you doing research at the school. You can even borrow words from the website and put it into your own personal statement. So that will help out a lot. Like I said, talk about if you're from a different country. I know I didn't say it specifically, but talk about like what makes you different. Everyone that's interesting. If you're from a different place, that's interesting. Talk about it. You know, if you've even went to go visit the school, that helps out a lot. I mentioned that in my personal statement. Like, hey, I actually went to go visit on this day, and I found that it was the campus was live, and it was amazing, and I could see myself there. The staff was very interesting and engaging, and they were willing to talk to me about this, and that. And that shows, especially if you went to go visit the school. I will tell you, you need to talk about it. That is one thing. If there's not anything, talk about if you went to go visit the school, because that shows that you've actually reached out. You've actually made strides to know more about this school, and that's going to appeal to them a lot. So definitely talk about it, about you going to visit the school. Let's see. Yeah, explain that. Yeah, like I said, explain, like, if you have a weird hobby, explain it, what it is. You know, just maybe you can start out with the hobby and then continue on talking, but then bring it full circle around. Yeah, and that, as far as the writing your first draft goes, before you know it, like me, I had 2 different drafts. Before you know it, you won't even know, like, you'll have so much content, you won't know what to put in, what to take out, because I had to take out stuff, especially with me being in the military. I had different avenues. Before long, I had so many different things that I could talk about, and I had to throw some stuff out. Also, what is that? I think there was another essay that they will allow a diversity statement. I didn't mention that either in the beginning, but your diversity statement, everybody can make a diversity statement. This is not just it's not geared towards a certain race or a certain minority. Or diversity statement is for you to say, look, this is what's, different about me. Here it is. If you have the opportunity to make a diversity statement, do it. I encourage you to do it. My diversity statement, because the part that I chose to take out in my personal statement was my military background. So in my diversity statement, I chose to put in my military experience, what I went through. And it was only a page long. It wasn't like it had to be, 4 pages or whatever. So, yeah, so that is definitely something that you should do. I know some schools don't even allow you to even write a diversity statement. So as for me, I know a few schools didn't even have a way for me to submit it, so I just chose not to. But by all means, if there is a way for you to submit one, go ahead. Call the school, ask them, hey, do you accept this, and how am I able to do it if it's not being accepted on the website? So, okay, so you got your first draft written. Okay, now do your personal editing. Reread, as you know. I'm pretty sure, reread your stuff. Make sure that it sounds, plausible. Give it to one of your family members to read. I gave it to my mom, my husband. Give it to them to read, to see if they can actually understand. See if they feel a certain way, after reading it. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel, because ultimately that's basically you testing out the admissions, reps. So yeah, see what they think, you know what I mean? Because the admissions reps, they're regular people too. They're regular moms, dads, their sons, their daughters, their friends, so of course you would want somebody to read it who's close to you, who can give you an honest opinion about your work. Some people will be so excited that you're doing it. Oh, you're going to law school, so make sure you get somebody who's honest. Because I had a few people who were just so happy that they was, oh, it's good. I'm like, no, I need an honest opinion. Give it to somebody who doesn't care, what you're doing, and they're reading it, and they're going to be very thorough and very honest about what your personal statement is portraying. So do that. Have somebody revise it, and once that's over, if you don't have any money, that's fine. Just continue to circulate it to different people. If you know somebody who was an English major maybe and very good at grammar, give it to them. I know if you're in the military, they have a Fleet and Family for Navy, and I'm pretty sure other branches had the same thing. They may call it something different or the same. I'm sure they have programs where, you know, somebody in there can reread it and, you know, give you some good advice on editing. Me personally, I opted in for an editing service. I'm not sure if any of you heard of her. Her name's Jazz Talks Law. I paid for her to review my personal statement, and she made a lot of corrections, and it helped out a lot. I forget how much it was. I think it was around like $500 or $600. Trust you me, it's very. No, I'm sorry, $300. I think it's like $300. I don't know. Around that price range. I know it seems a bit expensive, but the price range for the market right now for those type of services are about the same. At least at the time that I was doing it, because I was looking up multiple people who could do it, and that price range was pretty much the lowest that I found. So if you're able to get a cheaper deal, by all means, let me know. Post it down below so it can be helpful to other people. Also, maybe if here's another option, you can get Grammarly. Sign up for Grammarly. I still have it to this day because even in law school, it helped out a lot in my legal writing class. Legal research class. It helped out a lot when writing papers and stuff like that. So Grammarly is a cheaper thing that you can do. And I even noticed that the person who was editing I think she might have used it too to correct my papers. But I can tell that it wasn't just Grammarly. She did her own, editing as well. So get Grammarly. It's cheap. You know what I mean? I forget how much it is. It might be like, you can even get the basic package where it's free. So I encourage you, get Grammarly. And that can be, if you get enough people to review it, I say about 5 to 10 people to review your personal statement, and you continue to reread, make sure everything is like capitalized, make sure the margins are, just nothing that sticks out. Make sure it's perfect. Not perfect, but you know what I mean. So yeah, and you should be good to go with your personal statement. Hopefully you guys found this video to be helpful. Please, once again, like, comment, subscribe. And I think I'm going to break the video off here. I'm going to do a separate video. Because this video is getting pretty long. Once again, it's your girl, Cammy at Large. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good one.